Well, I mean, I think systemic reform is coming. This is a part of the solution. It's clear that this isn't going to be the magic bullet to lower property taxes, but it's going to be a part of it. Mandates, you hear often from boards of ed or from mayors that they, you know, if we're going to mandate something, then pay for it. And there's some duplicitous regulations out there, or ones where we don't get our bang for the buck. And I think we've learned about many of those through our hearings, and overall have improved access to that commission, which prior to now has been relatively dormant. So I think with this legislation, the principal piece of legislation that went through today on expanding the interest groups that can avail themselves of that process, we're going to see a lot more go before them and mandates be relieved, and therefore less money to the taxpayer. Security is the reason government exists to begin with, so I'm the last person to do something to, you know, downgrade security. But let's face it, you know, you have a police director and a police chief that can deal with the entire community, yet the AOC is involved in just the one municipal court portion. That doesn't make sense to me. I think the people, with due respect to the AOC, that best know how to keep their community safe are the police chiefs and the mayors, and that responsibility should remain theirs. You know, from 30,000 feet, you know, just as it relates to, you talk about security, you know, police training regulations alone, there must be, you know, over 100 different pieces of regulation, you know, relating to the number of times you have to be, you know, certified with a handgun each year, and just using that as an example. This committee or any other committee doesn't need to get into, you know, get into the weeds on the minutia of all that. That's why you allow the League of Municipalities or the Chief of Police Association to go for the Council on Mandates, where they can, you know, request relief. So, you know, you're really going to leave it to the experts in that regard. The Council of Mandates are nothing other than really judges. And when the League of Municipalities, with their ability to pull resources, can go before them and, you know, look at some of these regulations and say, you know, they're expensive, and if the state's not paying, we want relief, they can find it. A whole bunch of things, you know, running the gamut, a whole bunch of things, running the gamut from special ed, which is a lot of what we heard about relative to Department of Education regulation on, you know, on facilities reports. You know, again, a lot of things that are duplicitous that they can use a break from. And so, in the same way you saw 4 or 5 bills come out today from specific instances that we took testimony on from municipalities, you'll see the same thing derived from the board. I know that my committee, with its charge to look at mandates, will meet its goals of having hopefully a number of bills on the governor's desk over the next several months, certainly before the first of the year. You know, as it relates to, you know, the rest of the you know, the matters that we're dealing with, whether it's pension or interest arbitration or best same offer, I know that committees are working diligently on those too, and I think everybody's time frame is to be finished by the end of the year.